Today we're working on the custom build. So we got the bridge set on this thing, and now we got to go ahead and route a hole for the block to go into. I got the block off right now. And we also got to recess the whole bridge down inside the body a little bit so it'll work properly. That's the one thing we got to do. The other thing we got to work on is this neck here. I got the peg head or the fretboard glued onto the neck. So now we got to come back through and go ahead and install our binding around the side of the fretboard here. The first thing we're going to do is we got to route this bridge, recess this bridge down in the body. But before we can do that, we got to route out a hole for our block to go through. Now this is the block that came on the Ibanez Edge. But we're upgrading, or he's upgrading to a titanium block. So this is the block that's going to get. So we got to route a hole for that block to sit down in. It's going to sit probably about right there. But we got to route it on both sides and on all four sides enough because it's going to have to rotate whenever he swings that bridge either down or up. It's going to move back and forth like that. So you can't just make it a straight, tight fit. So I got to go, I'm going to start out with a 16th over on each side. We'll route that a 16th over the whole way through. We'll put the bridge, or put the block on the bottom of the bridge, hook it up, and see what kind of movement we got. It might not be enough, it probably won't be. We'll come back through and keep increasing it forwards, backwards, sideways should be good until we get to where we can get this bridge to move enough without hitting anything on the front, the back, the sides, anything, any interference at all, so it can float freely, basically. So anyways, so I gotta pull these two things out, these two posts out, we'll pull them out, and then we'll double stick some pieces of MDF down, take a paddle bit, or drill bit, drill a couple holes, and take my router and route it down. And that's basically the size. Now we got this hole over here where the whammy bar goes. We're gonna have to probably route that way out to the outside of that hole. So sit on like that. We'll end up routing from here over into this area somewhere. I got my titanium block on the bottom of my bridge here, and we've got our hole routed in. And now, go ahead and put our bridge on, and we got it semi-floating. Of course, it's not floating because we haven't routed this in yet, but we got the hole in. And now that that's done, the next thing we're going to do is flip this guitar over and start routing the back cavity. On the back of this guitar, I went ahead and marked out where my route out's going to be for my claw and my springs to go into. I've also marked where the cover for that's going to be at. The cover can move a little bit one way or the other, but that's gives you a pretty good ballpark. So what we're going to do here is up in this area, we're going to route down about 1/2 of an inch. That bridge is going to recess down in the body a little bit, probably about 1/8 or so. We're going to route about 1/2 an inch for now, and then we can once we route the front, we can set up the bridge in there and then decide if we need to route this any deeper than that. The most you're going to route it is like 5/8 of an inch, but I'm thinking 1/2 inch should do it. Now back in this area here, we'll end up routing this thing and come across about right here. We'll route that the whole way down in till about 1/2 inch shy of the top, and then that just gives you more room for your block in there to move up, forward, and backwards. But we'll end up leaving the front at this diameter right here, so we'll route it about 1/2 inch shy of the front. got the first set of routings done. I got the whole thing routed down to just over 1/2 inch. Probably like 9/16 or so is where it's at right now. And that should be good. Now what we're going to do, the second part, is route this back end from about here back. This little section right here. We're going to route that, keep routing that deeper down till we get to where we're about 1/4 inch or so shy of the top of the guitar. So what we're doing with this neck is we're going to put binding on it. We're going to put some of this binding around the fretboard and around the peg head. So you guys have seen me do this before in previous videos. Nothing new going on there. So sit back, enjoy, and crank the music. Okay, so we got our peg head bound and we got our fretboard bound. So we still got to put a piece back here on the back and then scrape it flush. But that's going to do it for me here tonight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.